Hey, what's going on, bull runners? Welcome back to the channel. Imagine a world where Ripple shifts its focus, bringing a massive 75% of its new job opportunities right here to the US soil. That's right, Brad Garlinghouse's Ripple's CEO has announced the strategic move. But why now? And what does it mean for you, the XRP holder? Ripple is navigating through a sea of opportunities and challenges. With every growth, there's a risk. Understanding Ripple's strategy could be the key to unlocking potential gains. This isn't just news, it's a pivotal moment for XRP. The landscape is changing, and the decisions made now will echo into the future of your investments. But that's not all. We're also going to be diving into why Ripple's CTO, David Schwartz, believes airdrops might not be the boon that they're made out to be, potentially doing more harm than good to the ecosystem. And stay with me until the end, because as a bonus, I'll give you an exclusive sneak peek into our new crypto community platform, Altcoin Pro, where you get the tools and the insights to stay ahead of this evolving market. We will also head over to CoinMarketCap and get the overall health of the market today. And we will be jumping into the XRP charts to find the most recent support and resistance, looking for the next move. We will also look at the Bitcoin dominance chart to make sure that altcoin season has officially kicked off. As we're waiting for this, remember there's a key level of support and resistance right here. We did bounce off of that as a resistance. This is a weekly chart that was November 18th, came down nicely, had a pullback to the upside, and now we are starting to make our move down again. We're looking for a steady, consistent drop in the dominance. This does not mean Bitcoin's going to drop in price, just means that altcoins are going to rally against it. We'll also check in with Ethereum. As you can see, it has continuously run into this weekly resistance and not been able to break through it. Will the next couple of weeks make its move up? And we'll take a look at Floki to see if it's ready to pump to the upside. And we'll take a look at Shiba Inu long-term, short-term potential. All right, so let's start off over here. CoinMarketCap. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with right now. Fear and Greed Index has now moved up to 61. That is a positive thing. We don't want it to be too low. Last week, we were all the way down at 54. People were really starting to get disheartened about crypto. Are we going to be crashing? Yesterday was all the way up to 60. Last month is where we want to see it at, 75, 80, 85 level. So this recent pullback was very healthy for the market. Altcoin season index currently sitting at 63, which it's also making a nice move back to the upside. Last month, during that pump, got up to an 86. Last week, all the way down to 45. But now making its way up. Yesterday was at 51, today at 53. Here we have a look at Bitcoin dominance. We got a 55.7. It is up 1.5%. Last month during that nice rally, we got it all the way down to 54.2. And the top trending coins for CoinMarketCap right now, they have Hive at number 1, ACT at number 2, AIOZ at number 3, Move at 4, and PangU at number 5. So our main article today, 75% of Ripple's open roles are now US-based, CEO Brad Garlinghouse. Brad Garlinghouse announced that 75% of Ripple Labs jobs are now based in the United States, the open spots are, and the company has closed more deals and partnerships in the United States following the 2024 election than the previous 6 months. And Brad attributes this to Donald Trump's pro-crypto rhetoric, saying Team Trump is already jumpstarting innovation and job growth in the United States with Scott Bessent, David Sachs, Paul Atkins, and others at the helm, and they're not even in office yet. Say what you want, but Trump effect is already making crypto great again. Industry executives, investors, and developers have all expressed optimism about the potential for crypto to flourish under the incoming Trump administration, with the expectation of a friendly regulatory climate. And I know that a lot of you guys have already been expressing that. I read every one of your comments down below, by the way, so go ahead and leave some comments down there. We respond to them as well. But most of you guys that I see in the comments are very excited about this upcoming administration, mainly dealing with the crypto factor. Brad Garlinghouse also tweeting out the rest of this. 2025 is here, and the Trump bull market is real. For Ripple, this is even more personal after Gensler's SEC effectively froze our business opportunities here at home for years. The optimism is obvious and very deserved. Today, 75% of Ripple's open roles are now US-based. While over the last 4 years, the vast majority of our hires were outside of the US. And if you remember, they were potentially moving to Dubai. They had already started making preparations to move their entire company to Dubai if Trump did not win the election. We signed more US deals in the last 6 months of 2024, since the election in the previous 6 months. The second Trump administration is set to assume office January 20th, and industry is already making moves before the highly anticipated inauguration. Mining company Hive Digital recently announced it would relocate headquarters from Vancouver, Canada to San Antonio, Texas in the United States. And as you can see, that was a huge announcement. Back to CoinMarketCap, Hive is up 62%. The new administration under President-elect Donald Trump has demonstrated a more pro-Bitcoin stance, the company wrote in its December 31st announcement. Morgan Stanley, one of the largest financial institutions in the world and the owner of E-Trade platform, is considering adding crypto trading to the brokerage website. Spokespeople for the company cited pro-crypto rhetoric and the inbound Trump administration as one of the drivers behind the potential addition to crypto assets on the E-Trade platform. ARK Invest founder Cathie Wood recently predicted an uptick in corporate managers and acquisitions over the next 4 years and forecasted a 1 million BTC by 2030 due to pro-innovation policies and Bitcoin scarcity. Can you imagine a $1 million Bitcoin? That's a 10x from here. I mean, that's not massive games like you can get in some of these altcoin gyms and things like we'll talk about at the end of this video, but a stable, consistent, reliable Bitcoin moves all markets. The asset manager said that the expected deregulation under the second Trump administration will create a more business-friendly regulatory environment.
Hey, bull runners, check this out. If you want to learn how to find the next 10x, 50x, or even 100x altcoin in this video, listen to this. Our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1 and is currently still up over 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. And the bull run is just getting started. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University. Just go through the link in the description below, get in right now, watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers.
And also today, before we jump into the charts, Ripple CTO explains why airdrops could do more harm than good. David Schwartz says airdrops in the cryptocurrency space, especially the tax consequences, could be tricky for recipients. He addressed the concerns of the XRP community and gave an honest review on how reward systems are usually set up. He explained that the way they are designed sometimes leads to unexpected financial problems. In particular, Schwartz touched on how XRP is taxed when it is received as income and how it is appreciated over time. He explained the long-term capital gains are only taxed on the increase in value, but income is taxed when the asset is first received. This same idea applies to airdrops, when the timing of when the asset is received, not how it's used or claimed by the recipient, often decides if it is taxable. David then turned his focus to automatic and self-claimed airdrops such as Flare and SGB tokens held in platforms like Bitfrost. These tokens were airdropped to XRP holders previously. Schwartz noticed that whether claiming is done automatically or manually doesn't really matter tax-wise. Once tokens are set aside for a user, they're usually seen as taxable income, no matter if the person accesses them or just holds them. And here's where this all developed from. XRP Fix tweeted out, recommend against it entirely based on how they did it or how they users accept? Or are you saying auto is not better than self-claiming, or is distribution method in general should have been different from their team? He replied, auto and self-claiming have, in my opinion, no effect on when rewards are taxable. Yes, I recommend against this kind of distribution method in general for a few reasons, but one is the negative tax consequences. I prefer the your tokens appreciate method over the you get rewards tokens. Schwartz pointed out that the problem here is that it makes things more complicated for people who hold it. Airdrop tokens are taxed based on their value when they're given out, even if they're supposed to be held long-term or used in an ecosystem later on. If these tokens increase in value, users might have to pay more in taxes, which would make things worse. Instead of these reward systems, Schwartz suggested using methods that focus on appreciation of existing tokens rather than issuing new ones. This way, users don't have to deal with the immediate tax issues that come with airdrops, and it's better for the long-term interest. Let's have a look at XRP in the charts. Now, first and foremost, I did go ahead and block off the inauguration here. And what's interesting is this triangle that we're forming at the moment, it nearly ends at or after inauguration. It's only a couple of days after, looking like 5-6 days after inauguration, this triangle pattern would be finished out. Now, a couple of things that we've been following very closely. First and foremost was we were following back before January kicked off. Getting back above this level here was one of the most important things we need to do. The $2.32 level, which was a support back here, but then turned into resistance at the end of December. January 1st, we had that high velocity candle that broke right through that line. January 2nd, we were able to reclaim that as a support level. Our next level of interest was going to be this $2.50 level. Because if you remember, XRP loves to play at whole numbers. 250, 225, 275, 280, 290 even, our most recent high. So the 250 level was going to be very, very important to us. And that did happen yesterday. We broke it for just a moment, but we actually rejected off of the top level of this triangle pattern that is forming. Our first point of interest is here on December 3rd. Then our second touch point is on December 17th. And now our third touch point comes in on January 4th. After touching that on the triangle and the 250 at the same time, we have had a pullback since then. Pulling back right back into that level we needed to break before, $2.32. And as you can see today, it held up as a great support level. Go ahead and drop this down to the 4-hour charts as we can see. So what we've been talking about on XRP is the price getting above the triangle, breaking out, retesting that line and or 250, and then making its move to the next level up here of $2.90, which is our previous most recent high. And that comes to us from December 3rd. So as price increases here, we gain strength. We claim 250 as a support. We make our way up to the 290 level, claim that as a support. Then we can make our move up to the $3.31 level, previous all-time high. That's the bullish outlook to the upside. When we pull up our momentum indicator here on the 4-hour chart, you can see we have moved into green money flow. During this drop period over here, we were coming out. We had a massive amount of money flow rush up inside, came down, had a double top on that money flow, started coming down, and now we've turned red for money flow, okay? But then that rounded off as well. So if we take this and draw money flow like that, and it's starting to come up now. So we have a couple of very positive signs that are reflecting right now. Number one, our momentum line we can see here that made a big move up over the last couple of days, stayed sideways for us, price traded sideways, but that momentum line came back down to the 0 line and price did not crash back down to the bottom of our triangle. So we are having bullish momentum coming in. Now that this has reset to 0, we can see it come back up. Like right here, it reset to 0 and started making its way back up. And you can see we had a nice move to the upside. This is on the 4-hour chart. Now we take a look at the daily chart in a much higher time frame. Obviously, we've had green money flow for quite some time since right before our move to the upside, money flow started coming in heavy right here, early November. Momentum line was down low, made its move all the way up, broke through the zero line, and just continued moving to the upside. When our momentum waves got above the zero line, stayed there, and continued this ride along the top, this is our first reset below the zero line since the kickoff of our huge move to the upside. So we take away the money flow indicator and the VWAP here, we can see a better view of our momentum wave. It is starting to round out, so it's losing a little bit of its momentum. And we also have our shaft momentum indicator here as well. You can see this is the one that moved up right before our huge swing to the upside and remained bullish that whole time. Recently come down. So we're waiting for this to move back to the upside. We want to see momentum coming back to the shaft indicator and our momentum waves going up. And when we take a look at our smaller time frame of the 12-hour here, we can see our shaft indicator has gone up to the upside and it's riding along the 100 level. So as of right now, positive news, even now on the 12-hour time frame for XRP, which is good. So we've been talking about how the weekly's powerful, very bullish to the upside, daily still powerful, bullish to the upside. Now our smaller time frames are starting to move our way into bullish as well, because during a reset, those higher time frames still stay positive, but the lower time frames start to get bearish, 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 bearish. Now they're rotating back to bullish. So what we're watching for now, $2.32 must remain as support. If we break that, we could be dropping back down to the bottom of the triangle here, $2, $2.05. Signs are pointing to a more bullish outlook to the upside, as we talked about, though. Breaking now above this level here, $2.40 gets us out of the triangle. We need to get to the 250 cents like we've been talking about, create that support, then move our way back up to the $2.90 level, that most recent high from December 3rd. And a lot of you guys have been talking about the spider line chart, liking that a lot. So when we look at the spider line chart, which is the weekly chart, and if you remember, these come from back in 2017 and 18, December and January, these pivot points here with a center line off the $2.90 previous high from 2021, and you draw a line using that as the fulcrum in the middle, it gives us these areas of interest. So as we look here on the weekly chart, we can see that level did get hit yesterday, $2.47, and rejected because we popped up that $2.50 a little bit there. We need to break through that level and we can get up to that $2.75 level again. And if we drop to a smaller time frame, this is the 3-day spider line chart. Right now, it's currently using the green line as a support. You can see it tried to break below it, came back up. We do have 1 day, 2 hours left in this 3-hour candle, or 3-day candle, sorry. We also have a green dot on our 3-day. Our momentum has reset down to 0. We've been trying to follow along on this one. We want this to turn back to the upside. We still haven't gotten that move to the upside. If we take a look, last time this indicator, the momentum indicator, came to the bottom, this line here, and broke to the upside, that was the start of the massive breakout. We now have a reset. We would love to see this line start to curl back up on the 3-day. So going back in history, we're currently riding on the green line as a support. That green line comes from January 22nd, 2018. Our next line to the upside comes from January 25th, 2018, and that is the pink line, which, as we can see, has been a resistance in the past, and that's that $2.55 level. But this right here, very good sign. The green dot on the 3-day. Our last green dot came right here, November 5th. And November 5th was the candle that bounced off of this spider line at the bottom and made its move to the upside. So continued momentum, the weekly, 3-day, the daily charts look very bullish still, even though we've had obviously a nice pullback, a reset. Taking a look at a 1-hour chart, you can see that green line has been a great support before. Unfortunately, our trend line, the top of the triangle line, is acting as a strong resistance. We're back at this green line support, ready to make a second attempt to break through this resistance on the triangle. Let's take a look at Bitcoin now. We're on the 12-hour charts here. Interesting scenario playing out with Bitcoin. We can see the money flow here. It is starting to round off and come to the downside. After we made this really nice run up here on the 12-hour charts, we did get a spot of support and resistance that developed. The red candles within the green momentum up. And you can see that it has been a support here November 26th, December 5th, December 30th. So we do have a nice strong support built up here at about $91,000, $92,000. When we take a look at this run up before the first pullback after this massive run finished, now we've been trading sideways, kind of had a blow off top here, but you can see this created a very important area of interest, this 98 to 97,000 or 99,588, so 100,000 really. If this momentum is going to show us some bleeding out to the downside, we could be in for a pretty significant drop. This is, of course, on the 12-hour charts. When we take a look at the weekly charts, we can see the last time our momentum lines here started to come down to the downside, because money flow is so heavy to the upside right now in these higher time frames. Even though we did have a pullback, it wasn't a significant, nasty drop to the downside. So that's one thing to keep in mind, very positive for us, because we did get up on this momentum line and ride that for quite some time. You can see it's starting to break down, and also on our Fu Manchu indicator, it also has a red dot on the weekly charts as well. So we could see a reset as far as momentums go to the downside, but it doesn't mean the price has to drop. And the reality is, when it comes to charting, everything relies on money flow. Money flowing in, price goes up. Money flowing out, price goes down. So we take a look here on the daily charts. Money flow is still up to the upside. We are starting to curl down on the daily chart. So remember, this one here was from the 12 hours. There is some very positive signs here on the daily chart, though, where our momentum line from the Fu Manchu indicator has just crossed above the 0 line. When we take a look at the 3-day line, this is looking very bullish. So the VWAP is about to cross the 0 line. The 3-day shaft line has reset to 0. Momentum indicator starting to turn up. Stochastic is already starting to turn up. Stochastic will typically front run all of the other indicators. We have 1 day, 2 hours left in this 3-day candle. When we flip from Heikin-Ashi candles to standard candles, we've already got the green dot. When we turn on our moving average ribbon, we did take a nice little dip below the 10 exponential moving average, poked through yesterday, now moving up to the top. So this is looking very bullish on the 3-day. I mean, if we break back above 100,000, we could see a real nice move to the upside. Let's take a look at Floki on the 3-day charts. So the good news is right now, the shaft indicator has reset to 0. VWAP has just crossed over the 0 line on the 3-day. We have a green dot on the 3-day charts. Money flow is just about to cross over the 0 line here. You can see it already flirted with that, the last candle. Last time we went from red money flow to green money flow, and the shaft indicator was moving to the upside and the momentum crossed over 0. That was February 18th, 2024, and you can see the move that happened there. Then the shaft indicator had a pullback down, reset to 0, and then it made its move back to the upside with green money flow, and you can see that it made its previous all-time high, which is currently at 000349. Then money flow started coming out, as you can see here with the red money flow indicator, but it is starting to fold back to the green side, to the upside. We have the stochastic right here starting to peel to the upside already. So the 3-day on Floki looks really promising. We drop down to the daily chart. And again, by the way, none of this information is financial advice. Do not buy or sell anything, as we talk about on this channel. just financial entertainment. All right, as we take a look here on a smaller time frame, this is the daily charts here. Momentum wave has now officially crossed over the 0 line. We are in the green for money flow. Stochastic has reached the top, and our momentum indicator is also signaling at the top of 100 on the daily chart here. And when we take a look at the smaller time frame, 4 hour, we can see money flow has now rounded off. It is right now turning over to the green side. The shaft momentum is to the downside, ready to make its move up. Stochastic is already starting to turn up. VWAP starting to turn up. We have a support level coming in right below where it just broke out, which is great. So 00018,517. So our support level 00018,517. Support is going to be nice because it's very close to where we're at. Resistance, the next level, when we start to push to the upside, it'll be 00022,863. We break through this, create it as a support, get to the top side, 0000259, 0000259, create that as a support. And as we were talking about earlier, it does look like altcoin season's about to kick off hard. Floki's going to be a massive potential runner right here. Taking a look at Shiba Inu on the daily charts, we do have a support down here for Shiba Inu at quad 01849. We can see that it did just dip into that level back on December 20th, had a quick little dip, and buyer stepped in and bought that right back up. But we have been not wicks, but bodies of candles closing new lower lows here. We do now have our first official higher high. So we have broken character. We have a bullish divergence on our momentum waves. Stochastic is up at 100. The shaft is up at 100. Money flows in the green. Daily charts trying to move into bullish scenario here. 3-day charts looks really bullish on this one as well. So money flow, as you can see on the 3-day, was cranking to the upside. We have crossed over into the green, back and forth with that right now. We have the reset on the shaft down at 0, ready to make its move back to 100. Stochastic has already crossed over and is starting to make its move up already. Got a green dot on the 3 days. We got a day and 2 hours left. So over the next 24 hours, we need to see Shiba Inu make its move back above this previous candle here with another bullish candle. Otherwise, we could see a potential return back down into this support level of quad 019. And of course, we've been following Ethereum very closely. As I've been saying, there's a lot of potential momentum for Ethereum. Lots of great signs are happening, but also even in the charts, we've got a reset on the shaft down here at 0. We've got a green dot. This is on the 3-day. We've got the VWAP rolling over, money flow coming up, stochastic coming up. So on the 3-day chart, Ethereum looks really strong. We're going to run into a resistance again up here at basically $4,000, $39.85. It's already had 1 attempt, 2 attempts, 3 attempts here on this level, all failing back to the downside.
Hey, bull runners, check this out. If you want to learn how to find the next 10x, 50x, or even 100x altcoin in this video, listen to this. Our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1 and is currently still up over 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000, and the bull run is just getting started. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University. Just go through the link in the description below, get in right now, watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers.